Chengara Veetil Devan Nair, also known as Devan Nair, was not just Singapore's third president. His story goes much deeper. He strongly opposed colonialism and later believed in communism as a solution to society's problems. These beliefs guided his life. When he was in school at Victoria School, he showed his bold nature by changing the words of a song, "Rule Britannia," to express his defiance against British rule. This act showed his early commitment to social justice, a commitment that stayed with him throughout his life. In 1981, his friend Lee Kuan Yew spoke about Nair's contribution. According to Lee, Nair's greatest gift was being himself. Even when he became president, Nair questioned if he could remain true to his beliefs and stay informal. This shows how important it was for him to stay real, no matter his position. Devan Nair's story is not just about being a president, it's about being a fearless advocate, always standing for what he believed in. His life teaches us the power of staying true to ourselves, no matter what challenges we face. Devan Nair, a Malayali Indian, was born on the 5th of August 1923, near the British Straits settlement of Malacca on the Malay Peninsula. His father worked as a clerk on a rubber plantation in Kerala, southern India. In his early years, Nair loved reading. He read books from Indian literature and politics, along with works by British writers like H.G. Wells and Bernard Shaw. He was also interested in the writings of Indian leaders such as Gandhi and Nehru. These readings shaped his ideas and beliefs. During the Japanese occupation, something deeply changed in young Nair. Like many others, his age and the brutality of World War II influenced his beliefs about right and wrong and his passion for justice. The horrifying things he saw during this time of harsh colonial rule became a powerful reason for him to later join the fight for revolution. One incident, in particular, shook him to the core. He had to watch a Chinese worker being drenched in kerosene and set on fire in front of him. Reflecting on this moment, Nair said, "It changed my life completely. I felt like shouting, 'Enough of all this cruelty. We must stop it. We have to fight.' That's when I decided to become a revolutionary, someone who fights for change." Nair strongly believed in the power of education to change lives. After World War II, he chose teaching as his career. This decision brought him to Singapore, where his life took a new direction. While he was training to be a teacher, he got involved with unionists and communists. Under the guidance of P.V. Sharma, he learned about the communist movement. This knowledge gave him and many others the courage to challenge the social norms set by British colonial rule. In 1950, Nair joined the Anti-British League, ABL, a secret group linked to the Malayan Communist Party. In this role, he bravely spread materials supporting communism and opposing British rule. His dedication was tested when ABL placed a box of grenades under his desk in his office at the Teachers' Union, while he was being visited by a special branch officer. This act showed Nair's determination to stand up for his beliefs, even in the face of danger. In January 1952, Nair was arrested for standing against colonial rule and spent 21 days in solitary confinement at Changi prison. Later, he was moved to St. John's Island with other activists like P.V. Sharma, James Puttucherry, Samad Ismail, Tan Cheng Pia, Yap Thien Hong, and Dr. Lo Wah Lian. It was in prison that he met Lee Kuan Yew, introduced to him by journalist Samad Ismail. After 27 months, Nair was released in April 1953. A few months later, on the 17th of August 1953, he got married. Despite his qualifications, Nair couldn't find a teaching job after prison, so he started offering private tuition. His life took a turn when Samad Ismail introduced him to Lim Chin Song after joining the Factory and Shop Workers Union. The union needed members who could speak English, so Nair became Lim Chin Seong's advisor and English speechwriter. This connection opened a new chapter in his life, leading him to workers' rights and activism. In 1954, Lee Kuan Yew asked Nair to join the People's Action Party, PAP, which is still the ruling party today. Nair was well known as a union leader and speechwriter by then. Within the PAP, he saw two groups, one led by Lee Kuan Yew, Goh Keng Swee, S. Rajaratnam, To Chin Chie, Ong Pang Boon, Kenny Byrne, and Yom Niek Lin, and another group that included himself, Lim Chin Song, Fong Swee Soon, and Sandra Woodhull. Nair believed Lim Chin Song was associated with the Communist Party, although he didn't know all the details. Nair ran for elections in Farrer Park in 1955 but did not win. This period was important in his life, shaping his journey in Singapore's politics and society. By 1956, Nair started having doubts about his mission. He felt uneasy because his friend Lim Chin Song was focusing too much on Chinese education and culture. Nair strongly believed in a multicultural identity and Malayan nationalism, which Lim didn't emphasize. Nair told Lim, "I didn't go through all those tough times for the Communist Party. We should fight for our independence, not just for China. Our country is diverse. You are scaring the Malays." According to what Lee Kuan Yew later said, "I felt that being Indian, Nair wouldn't be comfortable in a movement dominated by Chinese chauvinism. But he was in a difficult position. He was already a member of the Anti-British League and might have become a full member of the Malayan Communist Party. The MCP trusted very few non-Chinese members, especially educated Indians like Nair. If he left, possibly betraying them, it would be a big blow, and they might react strongly." He knew this and was aware of their elimination squads. In October 1956, Nair was imprisoned again when Chief Minister Lim Yew Hock closed down the Singapore Chinese Middle School Students' Union due to communist activities. This move sparked protests among students. Many students shifted to Chung Cheng High School and Chinese High School. On the 26th of October 1956, the police used tear gas to disperse the protesting students, leading to a lot of chaos. In response, the students damaged cars and public property. Sadly, these incidents resulted in the deaths of 13 people and left more than 100 injured over 5 days. Following this, the government arrested Nair, along with Lim Chin Song, Fong Swee Soon, Woodhull, and Puttucherry. Nair's second time in prison was a crucial moment in his life. Under pressure from Lee, who wanted clarity from the communists within the PAP about their stance on merger and communalism, the detainees made a clear statement. They said, "In Malaya, socialism must be rooted in political democracy as outlined in the Federation of Malaya's constitution. That's why we fully support Mr. Lee Kuan Yew's idea of PAP working for a free, democratic, non-communist Malaya. Socialists must be honest in their intentions and words." They also stressed that the path to socialism in Malaya should not be based on any one community's cultural biases. It's risky for Malayan socialists to rely on the cultural beliefs of any specific Malayan community. Many Chinese and Indians in this country still hold on to China-centered and India-centered cultural identities. It's clear that such cultural biases will hinder the growth of a true Malayan identity. After his release in 1959, Nair took a significant step. He convinced the new government to form a prisons inquiry commission. His aim was to stop the disrespectful treatment faced by prisoners under British rule, like being forced to kneel in front of British officers. Nair became the chairman of this commission. He worked alongside two British academics from the University of Malaya in Singapore, Dr. Jean Robertson and Professor T.H. Eliot, to make the prison system fairer and more compassionate for everyone. In 1961, Nair broke ties with the communists when Tengku Abdul Razak showed interest in merging Singapore and Malaysia. The British supported this, worrying the communist members of the PAP. They feared losing influence as communism wasn't popular among the Malay majority in Malaysia. In response, trade unionists led by Lim Chin Song demanded more self-government and control over security within the PAP. On the 13th of July, 13 members, including Lim Chin Song, Lee Siu Cho, and Fong Swee Soon, left the PAP to form Barisan Socialists. Despite these challenges, Nair stayed loyal to the non-communist faction of the PAP, showing his commitment to a united Singapore. Nair achieved something special. He was the only PAP candidate to win in a Malaysian election. In the March 1964 elections, 9 PAP candidates competed but only against the Malaysian Chinese Association. Nair won in Bangsa, making him the sole PAP winner in Malaysia. After Singapore separated from Malaysia on the 9th of August 1965, Nair continued to represent Bangsa in the Malaysian parliament. During this time, he had strong arguments, especially with Syed Jafar Albar about his use of tricky tactics and with Finance Minister Tan Siew Sin. Nair's determination and outspokenness made a significant impact on the Malaysian political scene. During this time, the new PAP government faced challenges like illegal strikes and labor disputes, which could disrupt peace. The PAP leaders needed someone reliable who could unite different unions and bring order. So, in 1969, Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew asked Nair to come back to Singapore for this important task. Lee said, "I needed him in Singapore to maintain peace in industries and encourage workers to work better." Having Devan as the head of NTUC was a big help. He not only coordinated my plans but also encouraged a positive work culture in the unions. Nair's return played a crucial role in bringing stability and direction to the labor movement in Singapore. When Nair became the leader of the National Trade Union Congress in 1969, he changed the approach from confrontation to focusing on productivity and helping union members through cooperatives. His strong personality found a platform in the trade union world. He enjoyed challenging Western critics who often judged non-Western societies and norms without understanding their struggles. Nair pointed out how these critics often overlooked the challenges that shaped modern Western civilization. In one incident shared by Lee Kuan Yew in his memoirs, during negotiations for Singapore International Airlines landing rights in London, the British government resisted. Singapore's negotiator, Nagin Tong Dao, faced difficulties. According to Lee, when Nagin found it very tough, I asked him to inform NTUC Secretary General Devan Nair about it. I had earlier agreed with Devan's idea that if the British negotiators were uncooperative, he would mobilize airport unions to slow down services for British aircraft. Nair's tactics worked, and they were granted the landing rights. As the NTUC Secretary General, Nair firmly supported the PAP and the idea of a one-party state. In the 1976 Triennial Delegates Conference, he boldly stated, "No ruling political party in any democratic country would campaign for an opposition party. The PAP is no exception. If the PAP won all seats in parliament, it's because people genuinely supported them. No opposition party gained enough trust from voters to win even one seat." Instead of recognizing the PAP's excellent performance, critics called Singapore a one-party state. Nair's views were similar to Rajaratnam's. Both men strongly defended the leadership's decisions, shaping Singapore's political discussions. They saw themselves as the creators of Singapore's history, guiding the nation to independence, the key figures in the birth of the nation-state. Nair's strong support for the PAP's policies showed his unwavering dedication to Singapore's progress. Nair became the president with some hesitation. As recalled by Lee Kuan Yew, "I told him that being president didn't mean he had to change who he was. At 58, he could continue being himself." After thinking it over for 2 weeks, he asked if he could still be informal and move around freely, without the formalities of the president's office. He was worried these formalities would distance him from his old friends. I assured him he didn't always have to be in the spotlight. However, this decision turned out to be one of Lee's significant mistakes. The situation became dramatic during President Nair's unofficial visit to Sarawak from 9 to the 18th of March 1985. Government reports said Nair was seen drinking heavily and behaving inappropriately with women, leading to his quick return to Singapore. Nair later said his unusual behavior was due to excessive sedation, causing hallucination and confusion. Diagnosed with alcoholism, he resigned as president in 1985. His later denials about the nature of his illness and his behavior strained his relationship with the political leaders significantly. After moving to Canada, Nair became one of the government's strongest critics. He openly criticized Lee, especially during Francis So's prosecution. Nair was worried about all the power being in one person's hands. He said, "Now, Lee doesn't work with equals but with his chosen people, who didn't earn their power but were given it. They are qualified, but they can't stand up to Lee, who has become too self-righteous." Despite his ongoing disagreements with the government from afar, most people in Singapore didn't pay much attention because they were more focused on the country's economic growth and increasing wealth. Nair passed away in Hamilton, Canada, on the 6th of December 2005, leaving behind a daughter and 3 sons. People will remember him as a revolutionary shaped by a specific and challenging time, a loyal and brave comrade in arms, always ready for a righteous fight. For a long time, his important contributions to the PAP's fight against the communists and his efforts to strengthen local unions were overlooked due to his political marginalization. However, his significant role among Singapore's first-generation leaders cannot be ignored when we look at his impactful work. There's still much to learn about his life, emphasizing the need for further exploration of his legacy. Chengara Veetil Devan Nair's life teaches us important lessons. First and foremost, it shows the value of staying true to our beliefs, even when faced with challenges. Nair's strong commitment to justice and workers' rights, and his fight against colonialism serves as an inspiring example of determination and resilience. His life also teaches us the importance of adapting to change. Nair's journey from a revolutionary fighter to a prominent political leader demonstrates his ability to evolve and make meaningful contributions in different roles. Moreover, Nair's story reminds us of the significance of recognizing the efforts of individuals, especially those who work diligently behind the scenes. Despite facing marginalization, Nair's contributions to Singapore were significant and noteworthy. Lastly, his life emphasizes the importance of continuous learning and understanding. Even though he made substantial contributions, there is still much more to learn about his life. This highlights the need for ongoing research and exploration, ensuring that the legacy of historical figures like Nair is fully appreciated by future generations.
Your support means a lot to us. If you enjoy this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really encourages us to make more videos like this.